und sind daher sehr interessiert an aktuellen Entwicklungen in der Literaturszene. Wir freuen uns sehr, dass wir neue brasilianische Bücher in unserer Bibliotheksbestand aufnehmen können und möchte ich mich ganz herzlich dafür bedanken. Vielen Dank.
Vielen Dank fürs Kommen.
Uma revista maravilhosa como essa, a gente recebeu 4 páginas, né? De propaganda. Então isso aí foi um apoio magnífico para nós. Então, Cultura Latina, obrigada. O livro bilíngue de arte, Anjos em Terra, a família Costa. Por favor.
Das zweisprachige Buch der Kunstraum, die Engel auf Erden, präsentiert von der Familie Costa. Braucht ihr? Ja, jetzt. Wollt ihr noch ein?
Então, bom dia, meu nome é Matias. Guten Tag, mein Name ist Matthias. Ich werde jetzt versuchen, 2 Sprachen zu machen. Also, ich bin Brasilianer und also in Österreich und Brasilianer immer auf der Suche nach meinen Wurzeln. Und e agora a gente teve um encontro agora no outono, o nosso primeiro encontro, e acabou que pouco depois veio esse convite de apresentar esse livro que é um pouco a história da minha família. Que começou no Brasil, é muito brasileira, muito linda, e teve um processo de transformação, de tradução do idioma e também de transformação da nossa.
Zuerst Matthias, meinem Sohn, und bei ihm bedanken, dass diese Initiative gehabt hat. Und ich bin sehr stolz, dass diese Brücke schlägt zwischen meines Ursprungs in Brasilien und hierher in Österreich. E também a você, Vanessa, por estar nos oferecendo esse espaço pelo seu gesto muito querido. Muito obrigado.
E na família do meu pai tem um tio meu, que é casado com uma tia, que também adora anjos, que nem a minha sogra. E quando esse tio viu esse livro dos anjos, ele, um pouco latim que ele sabia, começou a traduzir esses poemas para a mulher dele, para a minha tia. Also wir sind über meinen Vater sozusagen in Österreich gelandet und in meiner österreichischen Familie gibt es den Onkel, der eine Tante zur Seite hat, die auch Engel liebt, genauso wie meine Schwiegermutter. Und als mein Onkel dieses Buch sah und die Engel sah, hat er mit seinem bisschen Latein, das er von der Schule noch kannte, begonnen, diese Gedichte zu übersetzen für seine Frau.
Mas são as grandes empresas que muitas vezes exportam para fora do Brasil.
Ist, dass die Landrechte der Indigenen völlig angegriffen werden. Also es gibt neue Gesetze, die erlauben, dass Goldgräber in die Länder hineingehen und dass die Länder ziemlich schnell legalisiert werden für die Investoren. Es herrscht eine unglaublich große Abholzung und willkürliche Waldbrände. Und das sind alles Länder, die dem Amazonas weggenommen werden, weil die indigenen Völker sind die Vertreter des Amazonas, sind die Vertreter von Mutter Natur und als das verstehen sie sich auch. Und
eles me chamam para apresentar, mas esse painel de debates, ele vai ser... É um coletivo que nós fizemos o convite para eles, tá? Eles vão se apresentar, eles vão explicar a palestra que eles vão estar aqui fazendo, e a Gica é que está coordenando essa parte do coletivo, tá? Sejam bem-vindos e aproveitem.
Barbara, say hi.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I think we can, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it's with you.
Okay, well, thank you everyone. As Jika said, my name is Barbara. I am a molecular biologist working in Vienna in a COVID lab but I'm currently speaking from Brasilia, the capital of Brazil. So as you can imagine, I always have a lot to talk about how COVID fighting is working, from the ideal to the strategically possible, what could be improved and all. But I can assure you that Austria and Vienna are doing a great job. As an example, the FFP2 mask subsidy and the mandatory use in public spaces, the 2G, 3G rule, vaccination spots, and of course the free tests. Austria has a super structure and a very well-organized system for COVID fighting, testing, and vaccination.
But I'm sorry.
However,
I'm going to interrupt you for a while. Are you sharing your screen with us?
Yes, I am.
We're not.
It's that? Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah.
Continue. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, there's still a lot of vaccination hesitancy. In this graph, we can see that Austria is on top of German-speaking countries that don't really want to vaccinate. And if we compare the whole Europe, in general, it has a lot more vaccination hesitancy than America or Brazil. And then we were thinking what Brazil could teach the world and Austria, and I know Brazil was once considered the worst place to be during a pandemic. So, can you see?
Yes.
During a pandemic, so you might be a bit skeptic. I cannot see the faces because of the camera, but I imagine you could be a bit skeptic when I say Brazil has a lot to teach the world and Austria about COVID fighting, but I assure you we do have a lot. Our vaccination system and our structure was boycotted. We had a strong disinformation campaign, but people here want to vaccinate. We have a big, solid and long-term vaccination culture in Brazil. If I cannot say we are a vaccination reference for the world. We are one of the most immunized populations in the world. We pride ourselves to have a multidisciplinary team in vaccination that is able to go in all parts of our immense country. So it doesn't really matter if you're here in the capital or in the middle of the Amazon forest, you can get vaccinated. This way we eradicated polio, measles, neonatal tetanus. We control preventable diseases like flu, hepatitis, diphtheria, rubella, some forms of tuberculosis, and even HPV. Brazil offers over 23 vaccines and 17 serums for free to over 200 million people. So, in that sense, and the world in terms of strategies for communication and vaccination. And as a spoiler, it's about communication and a cute mascot. So, starting with communication, okay? When I Googled the first vaccinated person in Austria, the news I got back, they told me that this 80-year-old woman wanted to see her grandkids and was vaccinated by the president of the Austrian Society of Vaccinology, Ursula Weidemann-Schmidt. But there was not much information about the vaccinated woman. When I Googled first vaccinated person in Brazil, well, I actually get a lot of information about the nurse Monica Calazans. She's a black nurse that had comorbidity. She was working with COVID herself. And then if we look and compare the two of them, if we look and compare the two of them, it's not really about who's right and who's wrong. Oh, you got the spoiler of my presentation. The question is, who are we talking to in each campaign? Who is our main character? Who is the vaccinated or the vaccinator? Who are we talking to in the campaign? Who is our active character? You know, thinking of these questions, now I want to introduce you. You already know him. You know, our main character today, our hero, our national icon. He's what's missing in Austrian communication campaigns. Zé Gotinha. So all Brazilians probably know Zé Gotinha already. But if you don't, Zé Gotinha's name is translated into something like Droplet Joe because it's actually 2 drops, the head and the body. It was created in 1986 by the artist Alan Rosa, and his name was chosen by a public campaign where kids from public schools would send their suggestions to the health secretariat, and the winner would get a trip to their favorite city in Brazil. Initially, it was supposed to be just a logo in the formal documents of this ambitious campaign Brazil had with UNICEF to eradicate polio in 10 years. Just so you know, we officially consider the polio eradicated in Brazil after 8 years. And this is in part about, thanks to the communication and the education strategy adopted by Brazil and the sensibility of the Zé Gotinha theater. He saw that the population really feared vaccines and that there was a lot of misinformation around the vaccines, you know, at that time.